we are going to be looking at characterization today, right? So when we look at characterization, the first thing we look at is a clear and concise character, the triple C, clear, concise character. Now when we look at a clear and concise character, it's important for us to know the definition of clear, the definition of concise, and the definition of a character. So when we say clear, we mean easy to understand, right? Something that is simple, straightforward. Everyone knows what we're talking about. When I make something clear, there are no questions left behind, okay? No one has anything, no one wants to ask anything, everybody understands. When we look at concise, it means giving a lot of information in a very small way. So being concise means being to the point, giving all the information and not adding anything extra. And then obviously our character is someone in a story. Can be a person, an animal, an object. Think about Beauty and the Beast, the teapots and such, you know, Mrs. Potts and Chip and all of them. They may be objects, but they are characters in the story. They propel our story forward. But when we look at a character, we also have to look at their mental, emotional, and physical traits that make up that character. So character is not only about how someone looks. Character is not only about what kind of person they are or how smart they are. It's all of that together. Right, so today you're going to be receiving this particular worksheet on clear and concise characters. But before I hand it out, I'm just going to go through a few things. Now, this first section, extremely important. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Extremely important. Right, we're going to look at the definition of the clear and concise character. First thing you need to know is a clear and concise character is well-rounded. Okay? They are someone that is easily understood and someone that the audience knows. So the minute they step onto the stage, you're like, that's the hero of the story. Or, oh, it's the villain. Or, oh, it's that popular chick, you know, the blondie. Okay? It's going to be a little bit not so smart. The audience knows who they are. The audience understands their character. And yes, when we create characters, we kind of use stereotypes. It's easier that way because they're more easily understood. Okay? So, creating a character is not only about how you see the character. It's actually also about how your audience sees them. It's quite complex when you think about it. It's not the easiest thing to do. But we've got a whole life ahead of us to create characters. We're going to start small. Right. So when we design a character, we have to understand who the character is, how we want the audience to see them. What becomes very important is their backstory, where they came from, what they've been through, what their childhood was like, because that shapes them, that made them into who they are. We also look at their personality, as well as their physical behaviors. It's important to know what's important to your character. Is your character the kind of person who's going to stand up for something? If so, what are they going to stand up for? You with me? Right. It's nice to know what your character might talk about, what things interest them, who their friends might be. Because you'll find that some characters change depending on who they interact with. We may do it in real life too. Okay. So, when we design a clear and concise character, we are literally getting a glimpse into their life, as if they were a real person. Now the thing is, when you become a clear and concise character, that's when things get a little bit more difficult. Because not only are you literally stepping into the shoes of their costume, but you are figuratively becoming the character. You and your character are different people. You've got to leave you behind and morph or change into that character. You've got to forget all those little things that make you you and change to become the character, physical behavior. So if you're someone who gets nervous and they start to fiddle with their fingers. But your character is someone confident. Are you going to be fiddling with your fingers? No. Okay, you're going to have to project that confidence. So, what we're going to be looking at today is designing a monologue. Okay? Now, it is important to remember that a monologue is a speech given by one character. It may be during a play, maybe during a movie, maybe during a TV show. A great example of a monologue is when you think of the evil villain. They've captured the superhero, and they're going to tell them their evil plan to take over the world. The first one that pops into my mind, sadly, is Dr. Doofenshmirtz from Phineas and Ferb. So if you think of that, he is talking and nobody is interrupting him. He is monologuing. He's giving his whole story about his innator and what it's going to do to take over the tri-state area, that kind of thing. So a monologue is a speech given by a particular character. Now, in this monologue, it doesn't have to be an evil villain, okay? Your character can be whoever you want. But in this monologue, your character has to discuss something that is typical of them. They can talk about something that happened in their past, they can talk about something that's happening right now, they can talk about what they want for their future. They can talk about how something has affected them, or they can admit something they need to get off their chest. So, when we perform a monologue, very important that you become the character. You've got to be completely in character. No breaking your focus. You are not you on the stage, you are someone new. And you have to understand exactly what your character is saying, and more importantly, why are they saying it? Are they getting something off their chest? Are they expressing something? Are they revealing something about their childhood that happened? Now the thing with monologues is, they can go tragedy, dark, deep, down that end. But they can also be light-hearted, funny, and full of laughter, okay? And I'm going to be honest with you, because you are going to be writing your own monologue today, right? Comedy is slightly harder, because comedic timing is something that you have to get 100% right when you're performing. Comedic timing is something that comes naturally. Right, so when we create monologues, we've got to think very carefully. So what's going to happen now is we're going to turn around and watch some examples of monologues from a few movies that I've pulled, okay?